So, all these things can be explained only by evolutionary creation of human or life. In order to understand the creation, you need to understand the Creator. There are three important epithets of God that has to be analyzed. Rabb, Al-Khaliq, Al-Bari. Rabb in Mufradat al-Gharib al-Quran by Imam Ar-Raghib, the vocabulary Quran says, a being that fosters a thing in such a manner as to make it to attain one condition after another until it reaches its perfection. In other words, Rabb means Allah is an evolver, make things to evolve. Second important thing is, let me guide you to refer to a famous British lexicographer, Edward William Lane. He compiled an Arabic lexicon in 1700 by the request of Duke of Northumberland, I think, Nottingham or something, I don't know, British, and he spent 25 years and compiled this lexicon, in which Al-Khaliq is derived from Khalaqa. Khalaqa means proportionating a thing into another thing, to bring a thing into existence according to a certain measure or proportion so as to make it to equal to another thing that is not pre-existing, transforming one into another, transforming a tree into a canoe, transforming a clay into a human being. That's an example. What he described there is a tailor transforming a cloth into a garment. So Al-Khaliq means Allah is a transform, make things to transform, is an evolve, make things to evolve. Third one is Al-Bari. Al-Bari is derived from the verb bara, a thing becoming clear from another thing either by releasing from it or by evolution from a previously created matter or state. In other words, Al-Bari means that now Allah is an evolver. Based upon all this attributes of Allah suggest, creation and evolution are mutually complementary. Creation is a divine process. Evolution is a theory of evolution is a human observation of that process. Now, I'm going to introduce to you the same thing in modern terminology. One, genotype. Genotype means the total genetic code of a living creature. The way I look brown, I look all these structures because my genes made me to look this way. So all the genes determine the way I look. On the other hand, phenotype means outward appearance of a creature as a manifestation of the genotype. In other words, outward appearance of me because my genotype. If I'm going to use these terms to describe the creation and evolution, if creation is genotype, evolution is phenotype. Creation of human species from nothing. That's not God, He'd say that He created you from nothing. Most people think that it's a sort of like a magician, God came over, boom, He appeared, abracadabra. No, what it means is the state of nothing material existed before the Big Bang, and from that what we are talking about. God alone existed. On the other hand, and the Quran says that heavens and earth were one mass and then split asunder like Big Bang theory, and every one of us came from every living thing came out of water. Now we know life originated in water. Then he says he began the creation of man from clay. It's very important that began means. That means not an end. There's several steps to follow. Otherwise, he don't have to use that began there. Okay, DNA is the basic building block. The bonds that connect all these nucleotides together into a DNA is called a phosphodiester bond. And that is the backbone of DNA. That's very important to remember that part. And this is what the circle as the bond I'm talking about. One of the properties, we have read that you created from the clay and from the water. The water originated, the formation of DNA in the water is a process called polymerization. Polymerization is a dehydration reaction. Such a product coming out of it in water will break down easily, and they won't just join together and stay there. So the scientists did not have an explanation for a while. And about 2 years ago, Kieran Smith from University of Oxford said clay mineral may act as a catalyst. There was no laboratory evidence for it. Recently, it has been shown that clay minerals like a montimornite clay can form phosphodiester bonds, and so that it join together and remain stable in water and bloom into life. So that's what when you say created from the clay. In summary, nothing existed before. A universe was created with the clay minerals as part. Radiation, lightning, and created chemicals formed some nucleotides and DNA, and then went into life. The Quran says, I created you in successive stages. That's what it says. I don't know how to take any other meaning. The Quran does not describe all the stages. It told us to go and find out, travel through the earth how I create. He does not spoon feed you everything to you. You want to work for it. And all this line, because shortage of time, I'm not going to go into it. Quranic evidence of human emergence from earlier hominid. Thy Lord, all sufficient for you, merciful. If he will, he can put you, mankind, away, whom he pleases to succeed you as he originally created you from another people. Originally, ansha is the word used there. Now, there are, God if you, what it says is, God if you will, he can replace modern human with another species. 2, process of creation of new species, Khalifa, will be same as the way God created the modern human first time. And mankind was originally created from seeds of another people. This Fakhruddin al-Razi in 11th century, quoting Al-Qadi and also Muslim, says that if Allah said, he said, as he created you humankind from seeds of different people, if a wise person were to think about the point, he would know Almighty has created human from a sperm that did not contain his human picture in any form. Now he thought everything, human being only coming from sperm at that time. Now he knows now. Now if I'm going to introduce modern term into his sentence, this is the way it will read at the end. Yes. If a wise person were to think upon the point, he would know that Almighty created human from a sperm that did not contain human genotype instead of picture, human genotype in any way or fashion. So Allah created life in successive forms. I gave this information to my son. He threw me a grenade at me. He told me, Dad, I can understand what you just said, but this is the way the old Muslim believed in it. So I decided to look into the history. And he asked me all these questions.